Hello guys, and in today's video we'll be taking a look on why do we use a Markdown editor or a Markdown language syntax in general. Well, Markdown is basically a lightweight. It's lightweight and a markup language, as the name sounds. So it's a lightweight markup language that is used for creating some format text. That means if you use some special notations from the text here, this will going to result itself into printing out something much more different here. So Markdown is just like an HTML in itself, where we have a special notations like we do for HTML, where we use elements to represent a certain type here, and the same follows up for the Markdown as well. It's widely used in for blogging, messaging. So whenever you text someone, you must have some a clear text formatting of a lines and blocks, all of that. So that's the result from a Markdown editor. And blogging forums like Stack Exchange uses it a lot here all the time. So if you go out to comment it something related to Stack Exchange, you will oftenly see it a lot there, that people they use it. Except of typing out a strongly typed using their keyboard, they can use Markdown to express their ideas much more conveniently. And apart from that, it's heavily used in GitHub. So if you visit the section of readme.md file, this is the specifically file. The MD file stands for the Markdown here. So the M here is for mark and D is for down. So hence making it Markdown. And that's the official file extension for it. So this is the file extension for Markdown. And Markdown is predominantly markup language of the Microsoft Docs as well. So based on how you have to document something, represent something, its primary use follows up there. So now we'll start off with the Markdown language in action. And this is an online editor that I've opened up, and the website is stackedit.io. You can visit this website. This provides you an online Markdown editor, and you can try this stuff out for yourself, and you can practice the Markdown language from here. Now, Markdown language, as I told you, helps you describe any text with the help of few symbols and characters into a special text and a special representation format that parses that syntax that you've written with the help of special characters and text into a more verbose output. Now we'll see how we do it. So first thing that you can do in Markdown is to create a heading. Now to create a heading, you have to add a hash sign number of times depending upon the level of your heading. So if your heading level is suppose 1, whatever you write down in the Markdown will going to print as heading level 1. So heading level 1. And similarly, if you follow up for the second level heading, you have to use the hash twice. So heading level 2. Similarly, if you use the hash here twice, you have to use heading level 3. And this will continue on till you use it for heading level 4. And similarly, I can do this for heading level 5. So you can see that there is a very verbosity that is available just by using the hash as a special character here. So it's not that these special characters cannot be used as anywhere else. It's just that there are a few rules that governs the usage of it within something else, and we'll see it as we progress. Now this was for the heading that I've talked. Now I will take a look on an alternative syntax for heading. So alternatively, on the line below the text, add any number. So suppose if you want to represent your heading in some different fashion, you don't want to use like these hashy number of times. What you can do here is if I want to say that this is my heading level 2, right now it is just a text here, and what I can do to represent it as a heading level 1 for an alternate syntax is use the equal to sign. So if I use it number of times, this will going to render this as in heading level 1 here. I'm sorry about that, it's heading level 1. And similarly I can do this for heading level 2 here as well. So, and one thing to remember for alternate syntax is that you have to use dot dash dash dash, and this will going to parse this output as in heading level 2 here in the Markdown. Now you have a paragraphs markdowns as well, paragraph elements. So if you're suppose Markdown sheet or MD file wants to contain some paragraphs in itself, you can use a P element here. P, just like in the case of an HTML, whatever you want to enclose in the paragraph type, you use P here to do so. So now you can see it has recognized the paragraph elements, and you can insert the text that you want. So it can be any information related to your documentation, it can be terms of usage or whatever. I really like using Markdown here. So you can see this thing that it is utilizing the P element here as a paragraph element. Maybe we can continue to invest in learning from the past. So you can describe your paragraphs with the help of P tags here in the Markdown, and this is essentially a long text description, so you can use it alongside with something like heading element, here, and beneath that your paragraph element. So this was for your paragraphs. Now some of the best practices for paragraphs is to continue it using in a one order line. That is like one mistake that I did here was to continue it from a new line. Instead you have to intend the continuation from here, and that is the best thing that you can do to avoid mistakes. Now, what if you wanted to put in break between the lines that you are using here? So as you can see right now, it does not provide me with any of the breakpoints artificially. So in order to use it, you have to use an BR element just like you do it in HTML, and you can use it number of times. So it does not really matter how many times you use it, but you have to use it wisely to break the lines, depending upon what you are trying to document. So if there are some, let's say there has to be some pause in between, or you need to separate out the text elements or some other heading elements with a specified number of lines here, you can use a BR element here.